what is space? Anyway. Doesn't make any sense. Why can my hand be here and then all I have to do is this and now my hand is here? What's the difference between here and here? Don't know. This is very uncomfortable. Huh. Space. Space is weird. Okay. Here's something that's weird. So you've got matter, and I'm made of matter, enclosed within a space. Well, I don't know about enclosed, but I'm in a space. Which I don't even understand. And one of the properties of that space is that matter exists on it, within it, on it, around it. There's space inside of me. It's always there. I don't even know what that means. What space is. There's space inside of me. There's space around me. I say that, but I don't even know what I'm talking about. What is space? Like, you can describe it based on what you can observe, but you can't observe space. It's like it's ethereal, or maybe it's imaginary. But you can't look at it. Or maybe you can. Maybe I'm looking at it right now. I don't know. But it's funny because I don't know anything about it. I know just as much as everybody else. Because nobody knows shit. But in matter is space. Or in space is matter. And there's So there's matter, and the only reason there's matter is because there's space. That's what we know. Is the matter in, on, or around the space? I don't know. Is the space in, on, or around the matter? I don't know. Would space exist without matter? Would matter exist without space? I don't know. Nobody knows. Or, I mean, can you really prove something like that? I mean, you can say that there's space because you can move and you exist. But there's an experience that we have. It's like it's ethereal, basically. Like, we experience things. Like, what even is experience, you know? Like, we don't even know what consciousness is, and we are it. I don't know. It's funny. But, one funny property of matter that you can't really get without consciousness is information. I'm holding what we call paper in English, and on this paper is ink, and it's not all over the paper. It's only in certain spots, weirdly enough. But when I look at it, I see words, shapes, I see symbols, letters. This is a music theory. Some of music theory. But it's just a sheet of paper with ink on it in certain spots. I can't say and be exactly precise in saying that that's exactly what it is in reality, because I'm claiming to know objective truths about reality based on my subjective experience of noticing this paper in front of my eyes. I don't even know where I'm going. I know where I'm going. So this paper, for some reason, you can figure out what that means if you spend some time, because I wasn't able to figure out how to put that on paper in a day. It took me 3 years, and that's not even everything I know. That's only a little bit of what I know. it's some music theory, but I know more than just some music theory. I know what trees look like, and I know shapes. I know how the world I don't know, but I think I know how the world is supposed to be. Based on my past experiences. And I experience these things through a brain in a body. But I can't say anything about what actually is. I can't look out at the world and say that I even see anything, because I'm just hallucinating the majority of it and ignoring most of it. Your cerebrum, the new part of the brain that we've got more recently, largely its function is inhibitory, or at least that's what I've heard. I can't really prove it, but I mean, you could look it up. But it's inhibitory, mostly. That means a lot of what it does is ignore things or block things out, like your blind spot in your eye. That's probably not the cerebrum, because the blind spot in your eye is because of the eye doctor told me that it's actually where your retina connects to the back of your eye, and so there's no light receptor cells in that spot because your retina's there. So you can't really get an image, or you can't complete the image with that spot. So, but your brain blocks it out and like colors it in with the surrounding colors. I don't know if that's the cerebrum, but I think it could be. But I mean, you think about what you like right now. You're looking at the screen, and you might see me and maybe some like of your room. And if you're putting most of your attention on me, you're not really seeing what's in your room. I mean, you know that you can see like colors, and maybe you can like determine some objects. And right now that I'm saying this, you're probably focusing more on what isn't the screen, and maybe you're actually looking at things around, and so you're focusing on that thing, and then everything else you're just ignoring. Like when you're reading a book, like what is the most annoying thing that could happen to you when you're like really focused on a book is like, and I don't really read that much, but like for me it's YouTube. Like, is when people come and try to talk to you and it's distracting, you know? And it's messing up like your inhibitory process, I guess. Like you're trying to get as much information as you can out of this one thing, this like one little source of information, and you're blocking everything else out. Like when you're really reading that book or you're really watching that YouTube video, you have no idea what's going on around you. You're not paying attention to the surrounding sounds, even. You might hear it, but you're unable to process the content of that sound with your conscious mind, because your brain is deeply processing the information that is interpreting from ink, which is just matter, on a paper, which is just thin matter. And that's weird. You can only understand what I'm saying right now because your brain has come to expect certain sounds to mean something. Like, I vocalize strange noises with rhythm, which may or may not actually exist. What even is rhythm, Well, you know what it is. I know what it is, but do dogs know what rhythm is? If they don't, is it just because they don't encounter it, like they're not used to it? But we do, so, because we listen to music all the time. And so we understand that, that's rhythm. And excuse me. I don't know really anything. I don't know if we live in a weird world, but I definitely experienced some weird shit. Like I'm recording myself on a camera, and it's weird. I don't do this normally. Usually I like to be by myself, I mean, I am right now, but, and being alone is really nice, there's nobody to bother you, and you usually don't have to do anything, but, just do that for long enough and you start to feel useless. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna stop here. I don't know if I'm gonna edit this. I don't know, I'm 10 seconds away from being at a perfect 20 minutes, so I might just wait and then end it right at 20 minutes.